Tres, dos, uno.
Fuck it! We'll do it live!
That's going to be the intro now.
Mm-hmm.
What up,
All
people?
right.
We are the Blasphemy broadcast. And today we're bringing you some more hot topics in religious and non-religious news. So what's the first one up today?
First, we have the interesting news. Reverend Graham.
Okay.
Billy Graham. I've never watched any of his televangelist skits. I've heard about him, and apparently he's written a few books.
Was he the guy who was initially like repping Obama at the beginning of his campaign or something?
I don't know.
Or was
I don't know.
okay.
Might have been Jeff Warren. He wrote some book.
I knew there was some type of pastor who was repping him, but Billy Graham sounds familiar either way.
He's one of those big mega church pastors like Olstein and Al Sharpton.
Okay, Al Sharpton, that's who I was thinking
And I think Jeff Warren's the dude who wrote like The Purpose-Driven Life, or that book that was like on the New York bestseller list for.
Oh, okay.
Like,
well, regardless,
it's 15 minutes of fame.
His achievements aren't really what's the topic of this.
Well, I don't know if you'd even want to call them achievements.
Hey, he's wrote a book. That's more than I can say right now.
I don't know if being a televangelist is an achievement, but anyways,
debatable.
Is there an award for that on Xbox Live? so when you finally become a televangelist,
achievement unlocked.
Is it 5G?
5G?
Or is it like 100G? Or one of those Jewy achievements where you don't get any points at all?
It's 0G. No, it's 100 faith.
Instead of G, it's F.
Yeah.
Anyways, Reverend Billy Graham is calling for all 50 states to have what he is calling the Decision America Tour.
Oh, great.
From Conservative Post, quote, America is in trouble. At 62 years of age, I've lived long enough to learn that neither the Democrats nor the Republicans can turn this country around.
Oh, great.
No political party or politician is the answer. The only hope for this country is Almighty God and His Son, Jesus Christ. Next year, I am planning to travel to all 50 states to conduct prayer rallies. We are calling this the Decision America Tour. I want to encourage Christians to get out and vote and to cast their ballots for candidates who uphold biblical principles.
Something like that.
I want to strongly urge Christians to run for public office at every level, local, state, and federal. We will not be endorsing any political candidates.
Okay. Yeah.
But I will be proclaiming the truth of God's gospel in every state. More details will come later. I hope you will start praying with us now. End quote. It's from conservativepost.com. So, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's nice that we're getting a big group of people together, joining them up for one big rally and whatnot. I think the reasoning is kind of in question, but if you really want to create a theocracy, I don't think it's going to work like you want it to. I don't know. Haven't we already seen theocracies in the Middle East?
It reminds me of the glory days when we all got together to burn witches.
Those were the days.
You know, people just roast hot dogs now, but we used to get a witch, tie her up, sing songs, have a nice dinner, and laugh, and our children would giggle and throw things at the burning witch. What happened to those days? Don't you miss them? I mean, being from up north, what happened to the good old days when you could burn witches in the stake?
I know. Gone with the ways of liberalism and bipartisanship. I don't even know what that means. Gone with the ways of green technology.
So if we put this article from Conservative Post in Arabic, someone would think it was ISIS talking.
Yeah, pretty much. ISIL.
I fail to see a difference between, other than of course, guns and that sort of thing, and like actual killing.
The one thing I will give to the Christians is that they do it without killing, more or less.
And for the most part.
But they are also the majority of the population for the U.S.
Well, the question you have to ask is, even Obama mentioned it once when he was just a senator.
Right.
Okay, so let's say you hypothetically, you kick all non-Christians out of America. Like it's a party at your house, and you want everyone with a red shirt to just go and get eaten by alien monster on Clatdark 5 or whatever. So you want to get rid of all your red shirts.
Don't insult the Clackdarkians.
You just want to keep your blue and your yellows.
Okay.
Okay, so you keep your blue and your yellows. Well, obviously they're wearing a different shirt, even though they're part of the same crew. So even if you kick all of these non-Christians out of the United States,
which Christianity are we going to have?
Well, we got Episcopalian, Apostolic. I saw a Mennonite church today.
Pentecostal.
We got Pentecostals. We got.
I mean, if you really want to go that route, any of the Catholic ones.
Yeah, and on top of that, you've got different megachurch pastors. So we're going to teach Joel Osteen's Christianity, Billy Graham's, or Al Sharpton's.
Look, the one thing I will give Joel Osteen is that Bill Joelstein is that he has a perfect smile. I could believe that man to sell me snake oil no matter what day.
How many Mexicans do you think it takes to do his makeup before church? I don't know.
Oh my
I wonder
God.
how many. I wonder how many it takes to mow his front lawn and trim his hedges. I think the Bible said something about having a lot of money and adorning yourself with it.
Yeah,
Didn't Jesus say something like that? Like,
yeah.
It's easier for a rich man to get in heaven than a poor person because poor people are garbage. He said something like that.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
He said the liquid gold lubes you through the needle. No, but that's that opens up a whole new can of worms.
I've had this radical thought lately.
Oh God.
Except for the fact I live in the South.
Well, yeah, same here.
The most religious state in the South. Why don't we just let them secede, and they can have their Jesus of America, Landia.
Look, if we're
place all to themselves.
If we're seceding, I'm moving the hell out of Florida. That's for damn sure. I don't want to be left with these people.
Like, you know what? If that's cool, if that's what they want to do it, that's fine. I could never see people in like New York agreeing to this type of nonsense, though.
Oh God, no.
I mean, traditionally, your northern states and like western states vote Democrat.
Yeah, they're mainly more like liberal, more or less. I mean, gay marriage is legal up in Massachusetts. You know, they're not too worried about weed laws, things like that.
And you know, there was this article not too long ago about how like religion's on the rise or it's growing. I actually don't agree, although I'm not an anthropologist or a professor in world religions.
Well,
I think it's becoming more violent and outspoken in its demise. It's
the whole vocal minority thing.
It's on its way out. So it speaks out louder, it screams louder, it blows things up because it knows it's dying.
Yeah.
I mean, a new statistic, over 65% of people in Europe say they don't believe in God, and even more say they're non-religious.
Well, damn.
Like, they don't take it seriously.
That's a pretty big statistic.
And I would argue that even in America, the younger generations, religion is much less important to them than it was to their parents.
Because I know, like, all the younger people, like, I feel old saying that. All the young kids, you know. And
well, it's like YOLO and love everybody and party and enjoy your life and
like
stuff like that.
Yeah, realistically, because like the high school kids of now, they're much less about religion and much more about enjoy yourself. Try and make stabilize yourself early and make a lot of money, have a good life.
I think pop culture is sodomizing religion with a rusty blowtorch.
Yeah, that's a very non-graphic way of describing it.
I mean, on the radio, you have a song like Macklemore, where he openly criticizes the Bible and calls it bullshit. Yeah. And it's like a top trender. You have celebrities coming out and saying, "Yeah, we're not religious."
Yeah.
So I think they're more. I don't take them seriously because, like I said, I think they're outspoken in their demise. They're on their way out, and they know it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they like to make a lot of noise, but I think that is, because they're scared, because they're losing power slowly.
And you and I won't live to see it, but I don't see religion being a major factor in the 22nd and 23rd centuries.
No, I'm sure it'll still be like the whole spiritual side of things. Like someone would affiliate with a certain religion just because that's how their family was, or because they want to feel a part of something. But
it's like how people call themselves cultural Christians.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Or
they go to church every now and then. They don't really read the Bible, stuff
it's
like
like a
that.
social club. It's like MegaCon, but with Jesus.
Man, think of the cosplays.
Like, oh my.
Yeah,
Like Jesus on a dinosaur
I know. Think of the
cosplay.
Judas cosplays, Pontius Pilate. Telling you, man.
You could almost call it like a torture porn contest if we did the crucifixion.
That would be kind of pushing it, but yeah.
Anyways, on to our second topic that you did some research for us.
The one that I like that was pretty surprising to, I think, not just me, but it seemed like Reddit, because it had over 5,000 upvotes on Reddit. So, the ISIL, depending on what part of the world you're from, and the Taliban have announced a jihad against each other. It sounds like a B-rate movie starting, doesn't it?
Wait, we need Team America. Where is Team America?
Team America World Police. We're here to kick the... Oh, you guys are fighting each other? Oh, okay. Well,
we'll just watch.
Yeah. So let's see. Michele Radio has published a report stating that Daesh and Taliban group have announced jihad against each other. I don't know what that is, but okay. A police chief of southern Helmand province told Michele Radio during an interview he has received documents in which both the terrorist groups have announced jihad against each other. Quotes Malika saying there are matters of peace talks between government and Taliban come into discussion. Some intelligence agencies make new groups to keep the war ongoing in Afghanistan. That's interesting. Reports of minor clashes between the fighters of the Taliban group and the newly emerged Daesh. I'm assuming that's what they consider ISIS.
Maybe, or like
or like it's saying another group that they made up just to fight the Taliban. But yeah, apparently they've announced a jihad on each other.
It's like going to a football game or a sports game and watching both teams fight each other. They're both dicks. And it's just funny watching them slap the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they're just, in the same way football, they're just throwing bombs left and right.
Who's more holy? I am. No, I am more holy. I blow you up, motherfucker. I's the most holy.
I could see that. I will devote myself to God the most. No, you cannot beat me.
Maybe they'll start doing mass suicides.
Well, as abysmal and bleak as that sounds, I mean, it might help the whole rationalism thing.
Hey, man, like George Carlin used to say, anytime a bunch of holy people want to get together and kill each other, I'm a happy guy. I mean, I say we evacuate the state of Kansas, and we build a big wall around it, and we bring ISIS and Taliban here, and say we'll give them a fucking ton of guns. Like, we'll give them school buses full of guns, and maybe some, like... I don't know, virgins here and there.
And of course, this is going to be televised.
Yes, and this will be televised, and it'll be like not Mad Max. It'll be like Death Race.
Well, it'll
be Death Camels. We'll fit to the camels with different weapons. We'll fit the camels with different weapons and give them like steroids and PCP.
Can you see like a camel PCP'd out with a SAM turret on it?
Yes, and we'll pull its teeth out and put like scimitars where its teeth used to be.
That's the most horrifying image I could think of right now.
Mm-hmm. And they can have sponsors.
No, it'll be like Hunger Games.
Yes, like Pepsi Cola. Today we're sponsoring ISIS. And they'll wear like Pepsi t-shirts or Pepsi whatever the things are called.
Pepsi hijabs.
Yes.
Or whatever. Talawas.
And like the little IEDs they make to blow each other up will have like
Well, they'll have Pepsi cans.
We'll have like Pepsi cans or like Apple. Apple will advertise for their cell phones.
For the most reliable detonation, choose Apple. Apple iBoom.
Energizer Bunny, the IED that just keeps going and going and going and going.
Oh my god. Oh, okay, so you sick atheist fantasies aside.
Okay, anyways.
Okay, from Robertson. But, yeah.
Do we have anything more to say about this?
That's
I don't
kind
know.
of like
This has a lot of rich material.
I know. It's like it's killing two birds with one stone, though. ISIS and Taliban are fighting each other. America's sitting here like, yeah, okay, we'll sit here.
We should do.
We'll fix our
Well,
economy or
actually, no.
something.
That backfired. We shouldn't do that. I was gonna say we should give weapons to both sides so they kill each other faster.
No, that's not a good idea.
But that never works out the right way.
Maybe they might just band together.
Yeah. But
I wonder how Palestine feels about
I'm
this.
telling you, man, just evacuate Kansas
Build
and
a
just
big
wall
fucking
it
wall.
off, and just we'll airdrop Qurans.
Oh God.
We'll just airdrop them in, and then we'll put like some sort of defamation to the Quran, and then we'll say that the other one did it. So and the next thing you know, they're putting IEDs in camels' asses and slapping them and making them run over towards everyone's camel. This is an incredibly racist discussion.
They're not races.
Well, that's true. That's like I never understood how people call Jews a race.
Yeah, they're a Jew. Well, that's a belief. The people of Palestine, or the people of, is it right? Palestine's Jewish.
Israelis
are
is typically the Jewish ones, and Palestinians are typically the Muslims.
That's right. Okay, I got them confused. But yeah, what the
maybe there will even be like a great hero arise, like
oh my God,
Muhammad Maximus Archbarius.
Archbarius.
And he'll rise to power.
Oh my God.
And defeat the evil emperor like Jihad Gilla. And it'll be just an epic fight to the death.
And he'll have an entire elite guard of imams. Yes.
But instead of walking through like Elysium, it'll be through a field of virgins.
Oh God.
As virgins as far as the eye can see.
But some of the virgins have IEDs in them.
You talk about birth control.
Oh my God.
No pun intended. Okay. Anyways.
That's beautiful.
Our next topic.
Yeah, you can have one now.
Oh man.
That one's just so good though.
Okay.
Breathe.
Our next topic. Does everybody remember Michele Bachmann?
No.
She was kind of like Sarah Palin's doppelganger.
Yeah. She was like the evil Sarah Palin, if that even is a thing.
She was like the copycat of Sarah Palin. Like she tried to ride her wave of success.
Oh, I can see Russia from my house.
But she didn't. I think she didn't get much traction because she didn't have the naughty librarian look.
Yeah,
like Sarah Palin did.
I will give that. Sarah Palin is a minx.
She could have worked the whole naughty secretary thing.
Oh God.
Bachmann just kind of has like the 1,000-yard stare, like shell shock. I don't know. I mean, I have
been to FEMA camps. I've seen things.
I mean, maybe she knitted too many like Jesus scarves or something the last winter, and she has shell shock. Shell shock from it, or should I say needle shock from it?
Shock.
But
oh my God! I just realized, how is a Christian development group not made that? Bible Shock, Bible Shock Infinite.
But she had some interesting things to say.
Anyway,
and if I can get my interwebs to work, hold on 1 second.
Let's see what this great woman.
Don't you see? This is God punishing me. My computer froze.
Great.
This is divine retribution on Most High from the Most High.
Well, let's see. I had to click
okay,
Skype.
Oh wait, my interweb is not responding.
Okay.
It must have been all those terrible comments I made about Muslims. My computer must be an IED. It's gonna blow up at any moment.
Okay. Rapture imminent thanks to gay marriage and Obama.
Okay. Here it is. So quote, this is from Right Wing Watch, submitted by Brian Tashman on Monday. In an interview with End Times broadcaster Jan Markell that was aired this weekend, Former Rep. Michele Bachmann said that people should, quote, not despair but rejoice, end quote. That the world has reached the, quote, midnight hour, end quote, and that we are in our lifetimes potentially could see Jesus Christ returning to the earth and the rapture of the church.
Not bad. I've been waiting for that for quite a while.
Hold on, my internet froze again. Okay. We need to realize, the former Republican congresswoman from Minnesota said that President Obama's policies, including support for marriage equality and nuclear negotiations with Iran, are to blame for the world's most imminent demise. Quote, we need to realize how close this clock is to getting towards the midnight hour, end quote, Bachmann said. Barack Obama is intent. It is his number one goal to ensure that Iran has a nuclear weapon. Bachmann made similar comments in the first half of her interview with Markel, which aired last week, insisting that Obama's presidency will bring about natural and economic disasters, along with the arrival of the last days.
Oh.
After Bachmann said that Obama intends to lift up the agenda of radical Islam, Markel added that legal abortion and marriage equality for gays and lesbians are bringing about the divine punishment of America, a gayocalypse. You are right, Bachmann responded, lamenting that God will soon lift his hedge of protection over pagan America, and we will suffer the consequences as a result.
No.
That's why so many Christians, I think, are sad and despairing, because we know what the Word of God says. But it is also a chastening as individual believers for our good, and that to me is extremely exciting.
No.
So besides learning about what gets Michele Bachmann's rocks off,
that'll help me in the future.
Other than like gay orgies and pagan sacrifices and Iranian nuclear weapons.
Pagan sacrifices get me off too.
Am I the only one who thinks that this is sad? That like someone who ran for president in the Republican primaries, or at least as the Republican primary candidate,
right,
thinks that there is a natural correlation between gay anal sex and hurricanes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just logic when you think about it.
The anal vortex
Yeah.
creates a cyclonic effect.
Not to steal an idea, but if we were to circumnavigate the intellect, then
Oh, great divine wisdom, Kirk Cameron, and your excellent movie Fireproof and Left Behind. Guide us with your wisdom so that we may properly engage in straight heterosexual sex.
yeah, it's she actually thinks that. She actually thinks gays cause natural disasters.
This is the kind of shit you would expect from like the dude with the sign that says Jesus saves on the end of the street.
Yeah.
With like
the dude sitting in like Times Square, like, the end is nigh, it's upon us.
And hasn't showered in 6 days. Or 6 months.
She may or may not have also, but that's not the point.
She does have that 1,000-yard stare. I mean, I bet you sometimes she just goes to get in the shower, but then she remembers what it was like to be in the shower and fantasize about gay sex, and it just traumatizes her so much that she can't do it. So she can't shower. That's why she has the 1,000-yard stare, because she can smell it less if her eyes aren't lined up with her.
You can smell it less.
But no, I mean, one of the first things I'm going to talk about here is people have been talking about the end of days since there were people.
Yep. The end of days have been coming since the beginning of days.
The Mayans in 2012, that was bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
The Y2K was bullshit.
Yeah, that's true.
Nostradamus was bullshit.
The fall of the Roman Empire was bullshit.
And even Jesus was like, if I'm not mistaken, there's a part in the Bible where he talks about that he believed the end times were going to happen immediately after his death.
Right.
He said, there are those among you in this crowd who shall live to see the return of my kingdom, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing.
Right. 2,000 years ago.
So it's 2,000 years late. Did Jesus have a date? Is the shower not heating up? Is his hot pocket still in the microwave in heaven? These are deep
That could be such a good
Theological
SNL
questions.
skit.
These are deep theological questions. Did he oversleep? Was he out too late partying last
Hey,
night?
I mean,
Vishnu?
hey, you know what might have happened? I think his phone died, so the alarm hasn't gone off yet.
It's possible the power went out
Mm-hmm.
because
Because
God
gays are
was
having
just-
sex.
exactly, and God was so furious he just shit his pants, and all the power went out in
The
heaven.
power in heaven went out. And the
So
lights.
he's just late.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like me being late to work. I guess it happens if you're up too late. Partying with Vishnu and sodomizing a cow, or I'm sorry, Hindus don't sodomize cows.
Great. Let's tack Hindus onto the problem now.
Watch tomorrow. I'm gonna walk outside and a Hindu dude who cut off like 6 other people's arms and has them taped to his body is gonna come at me, try and dismember me.
Oh, fuck. Nope.
See, it's divine punishment.
See, yeah, it's karma making my water bottle fall.
But people have been saying the end is nigh since
The end has begun.
forever.
Yeah.
And I mean, like Pat Robertson from the 700 Club. He's been talking about the end since the 70s.
Oh,
And
God, yeah.
his compatriot Jerry Falwell was like, the end is coming and the World Trade Center attack happened because of homosexuals. And I never understood that. Like this idea that we can end homosexuality by killing them all and putting them in a camp.
Yeah, FEMA.
Because
camps,
obviously
100.
that hasn't worked. Because societies have tried it and it hasn't worked.
I just think that they weren't doing it correctly.
Exactly. I think we're going to offend a lot of people.
I don't think we should bring Nazis into this.
not only are we going to get attacked by Muslims,
I
we're
bet
gonna
you
get
did not see
killed
that
by-
coming.
the Nazi party.
Ding.
We're going to be killed by Hindus. We're going to be sodomized by gay people, and now on top of that, Michele Bachmann's going to knit us to death, or to give us 1,000
She's
yard
going
stare.
to turn us into a Bible
It's going to be
cover.
like that episode of South Park with the Chewbacca argument. This is Chewbacca. This is Michele Bachmann. Michele Bachmann does not make sense. And then the guy's head just... she will 1,000 yard stare you until your head fucking explodes. We need to put up a picture of her somewhere over here,
Jesus.
if we can, with her 1,000 yard stare. But one of the last things that I want to say before we move on to our last and my most favorite topic that we're
Right.
going to cover tonight is this whole nuclear weapon nonsense with Iran. For those who
fun.
haven't been paying attention to the news, we actually were able to strike a very, very good deal with Iran, or at least as opposed to war.
You're not wrong. This chick is scary looking.
So the deal basically is that Iran is willing to give up 97% of its nuclear stockpile, and that they will only be allowed to enrich uranium to 3%, which apparently isn't even enough to make it weapons grade. Apparently it has to be enriched to a certain percent to even be weapons grade. And they've also agreed to inspectors from both Russia, the European Union, Japan, and the United States.
And there's Michele Bachmann on the screen for you guys to see. I'll just
And-
leave that there for a while.
So this is on a regular basis. Dude, the 1,000 yard stare, I can't focus. Oh well, I just won't look at it. So
No, you didn't see this face. Oh my
So-
God.
so it's actually a pretty good deal. The only thing the Iranians are getting in exchange is an end for economic sanctions, which
Yeah.
would be basically if you lifted a blockade.
Right.
So it's relatively a really good deal for us, as opposed to war. But of course,
Of course.
that's not good enough.
It's never good
Congress is trying to, in a completely unprecedented thing in American history, Congress is trying to have a say on what the president can and can't sign treaties of. This has never happened, like in the history of the United States.
Well, not only that, but isn't that also not in their power?
It's not. It's not in their power. Usually that power of peace treaties with another country is the executive branch's
Yeah.
role. So A, it's not even in their scope. B, it's completely unprecedented. And C, you have all these Republicans like Tom Cotton and whatnot talking about we want war. They're already talking about bombing campaigns and getting opinions from strategists how long it would take to defeat Iran.
Jesus.
And of course, it wouldn't actually be a declaration of war because we haven't actually declared war on someone since World War II.
Yeah. It's always been military actions.
Which is a very convenient way of getting around the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have to have a goal. You don't have to have a guideline. You don't have to have any rules. As far as the law is concerned, you're not even there.
Yeah.
This whole military intervention thing is totally new in politics.
Yeah,
since like the 50s.
And it's a pretty convenient loophole.
Yeah, so, and I hope it doesn't come to that in all seriousness, because we were already in 2 wars. We're nearly bankrupt, and it would make things so much worse.
Yeah.
I would even go as far to argue, and I'm sure I'm going to piss off a lot of people with this. I would argue that the United States and coalition allies inadvertently created ISIS.
Right.
And I talked about this in my Irritating Ironies episode about war.
Yeah.
When you don't have a clear goal,
Mm.
you don't really have any idea what you're doing. You're just killing people and blowing shit up, and there's no end in sight. And as far as the September 11th nonsense, that's a criminal act. Terrorism is a criminal act, not an act of war, because a terrorist doesn't act in the interest of a nation state. They typically act in the interest for political ideologies or religious ideologies or what have you.
Right.
So how do you go to war with a group that's always on the run and hiding? You arrest them. You find them and you arrest them. You don't declare war on them. That would be like if I was a bank robber and I blew up a bank and killed 100 people.
Right.
And I lived in, let's pick a town, Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
That would be like the U.S. military leveling the entire city to find me and a group of like 60 other people.
Yeah.
Who were involved. It would be absolutely ridiculous. But yet, somehow, they got the go-ahead for it.
Yeah, of course they did.
Preemptive assaults are not... they're not really allowed by the Constitution, let alone the UN Charter, so...
But then again, we don't really follow a lot of that, now do we?
No. I think what it is these Bible apocalyptic Christians, they want like the apocalyptic Armageddon. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It hasn't happened in 2,000 years, so they want to create it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And I have mixed feelings about that.
Do you now?
Because if you did get like an evangelical, Jesus-y power branch, and let's say they did go to war with Iran and create a massive holy war between Christians and Muslims worldwide.
Right.
Which it would. It may be a blessing in disguise. And before you tear my throat out for that, let me tell you why. There would be enough bloodshed and death and destruction in the name of a war between the 2 biggest Abrahamic faiths that the world that would recover afterward
would probably be very different.
Would be very different in its view towards religion. A lot of people would die.
Yeah.
Economies would go bankrupt. And it would probably be deaths that's, I would argue, almost as bad as, I don't know, maybe World War I or World War II.
Yeah.
Because you've got 1.5 billion Muslims in the world, billions of Christians, and then something as simple as us getting overzealous and attacking Iran for bullshit reasons. And then, of course, our politicians are going to say it's for Christ and for Jesus. We're protecting Israel because these God's chosen people. Because they've said it.
Yep.
They've said it. It's not like they just implied it. They've said it. So there would be untold death and destruction. But the world that emerges from the ashes I would argue, you may see an end to the dominance of your Abrahamic faiths in the world. Because think about this: since World War II ended, there hasn't been a significant war between nation states in over 60 years.
Right.
And when I say a war between nation states, I'm talking there was a formal declaration of war, and then there was a peace treaty.
Yeah.
We've had conflicts here and there, but if you take all the deaths over the last 50 years and all the wars combined, it's not even a fraction of World War II.
Yeah.
So most nation states like Japan or United States don't declare war on each other. If there is war, it's kind of like conflicts inside the country or between different ideological groups, not countries.
Wouldn't that be something kind of like the whole Russia-Crimea thing?
Mm-hmm. So maybe it's optimistic, but I think that war, at least between countries, is on its way out.
Right.
Even like political ideological differences, I think, are on their way out.
Right.
But unfortunately, religious ideology warfare has made a comeback. But who knows what will happen? I just hope that as a taxpayer who pays for the enormous war machine that is the United States, that it doesn't happen. But that's enough negativity on that subject.
Yeah, but that's...
You know what, though? It's important because this is a big deal.
A little bit.
It's a big deal when you have the entirety of Congress, which is controlled by the Republicans, want war with Iran.
Right.
Do you think the American public wants it? I don't. And
Hell no.
I vote and I pay taxes. I don't want my tax dollars paying for a war that I have that is between a faith I don't belong to and another faith I don't belong to. It's none of my business. It's honestly, I don't even give a shit about Israel.
Yeah.
Like, it's not our job to be daddy big brother to Israel. You know, they're their own country, and we've gave them tons of money and tons of shit over the years. And for the only reason being is that they're Jewish.
Yeah.
And that a lot of Christians have this idea that, because even when I was in church, they talked about how, like, Israel is God's chosen people and whatnot.
Right. We have to protect them, help them, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, I digress, because we're going to go on too long. We're going to talk about our last topic and end it with some levity.
Okay. So, the last topic, which I think is the most important out of these four. All right. Now, this may surprise some people, but this has to do with Kanye West.
Roll Gayfish.
So apparently, you know that I'm a Gayfish. So apparently, Kanye West wants to leave America because it's too racist.
Who's Kanye West?
Kanye West is...
Oh, is he that dude who did the heartbreak?
Kanye West is the man who, if there was a modern-day Bible, he would be Jesus. Now, he actually said that, too.
He actually said that?
Yeah, he said that in an interview.
Because that's not arrogant at all.
No, of course not. He's probably one of the most modest guys I've ever heard of. So here's the other thing. It's according to conservativepost.com. Kanye West thinks the U.S. is just too racist to live in anymore, and he'll be darned if his daughter will encounter such negativity. So his wifey, Kim Kardashian, was entering a medical building in California when...
The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Okay. My wife is not a hobbit. She may live in a hole in the ground. She may have a best friend named Gandalf, but she is... Hold on 1 second.
I think you watch too much South Park.
Bitch, how you not a hobbit? Okay. Anyways.
So she was entering a medical building in California when the teenager called her a N-word lover after being told he should not use that word. Teenager allegedly threatened to murder her. I mean, that's kind of harsh. I will give him that. When Kanye heard of the news, he walked up to the teen and punched him in the face.
I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe for a second that somebody called Kim Kardashian a nigger lover.
Probably not, but, you know...
I don't buy that for a second.
You'd be surprised how stupid some people are.
And honestly, I don't buy that she was just prancing one day by herself into a hospital.
No, well, it is conservativepost.com, so we don't actually know what it is. I mean, they have a link... They have an entire section on their website called End Times, so, I mean, we can't really trust them too much, but...
That's true.
When Kanye heard of the West news, he walked up to the team and punched him in the face. Now it appears the rapper is threatening to leave the United States, claiming he is dreading explaining to his daughter the negativity in American culture, society, and history. Kanye then exclaimed, "We got enough money to buy our own island or some shit. I'll be damned if I raise my daughter around ignorance and flat-out blatant racism." So,
even if the story isn't true, I could believe it about Kanye West saying something like that.
I think the better thing to say is, even if the story is true.
Yeah. I could believe Kanye West would say something like that.
Oh yeah. I
don't buy the Kim Kardashian thing for a second.
No, but it's you take it
because
with a
of
grain
all
of
the
salt.
shootings and stuff that have gone on lately.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he thinking that he's important,
Yeah.
hopped on the bandwagon and was like,
they gonna try and
America's
take my
racist.
girl from me, but they ain't gonna. This is a terrible Kanye West
Dude,
impersonation.
she will divorce the shit out of him and take all his money. Because she didn't. She was married to that basketball player for like all of 2 days.
Oh, that's right.
And then they divorced. Like they went to Aruba, and then by the time they came back, they were like divorced.
Yeah, but they've been together for a while now, haven't they? Then again, that doesn't mean jack.
You think they have threesomes with Ray J?
I hope so.
Maybe they'll make another sex tape.
We get another sex tape with Kanye going.
I need new material for Lucy the Lizard.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyways, I digress.
Yeah. So
Okay. I'm going to say something that's going to piss people off.
I'm gonna say something that doesn't.
I don't give a flying fuck about Kanye West.
I'm gonna say something that won't piss people off. I don't give a flying fuck about Kanye West.
The story cracks me up because I don't give a flying fuck about Kanye West. He thinks he's like the modern day Messiah, and even without this story, him saying that about like that he's like the modern day Jesus.
Yeah.
He brushed poor little Taylor Swift off the stage. Hold up. Or you know what? If you can find that clip and play it up here.
Gayfish, yo. Motherfucking gayfish. I'm a fish, yo. Going on a gayfish. It's alright, girl. Making love to other gayfish.
Well, yeah. When what's his name? Kanye stopped her in the Grammys like what 2-3 years ago was it now?
Yeah.
Hold up. I'm gonna let you finish, Taylor, but I just gotta let everyone know Beyonce had the best album this year.
Of all time. It was all time.
All time? Better than his own albums?
No, the song was Heartless.
Yeah, I know.
The only song I've ever heard by Kanye was Heartless. And the only reason I know it was because the Fray covered it.
Oh,
and
that's true. They did, didn't they?
And then I wanted to know who the original was. And the only other thing about Kanye West I know is the Gayfish song.
I know.
Because you know that I'm a gayfish. You know, I hope he leaves America. And I hope he goes to Gayfishlandia or Gayfishalis. The lost island of Gayfishia.
No, that's what happens when gayfish have sex. They get gayfishless.
Like, it'll be like the lost island of Atlantis, but for gayfish. And he'll be underneath the sea with Poseidon. And,
under the sea.
Under the sea, where we can be gayfish all day.
Oh my god. But yeah.
You think that if he needs to make his own country of Gayfishlandia, and the only thing they serve on the island is fish sticks.
Well, apparently he has enough money to buy an island or some shit, so he should be good.
He could probably build an island, and then I hope it sinks.
Yeah.
And then he can be in the sea with his gayfish friends.
It could be like that palm tree island that the like Dubai made or something to live on.
Yeah. That dude's such an arrogant prick, man.
Yeah, I know. And knowing him too, he'd see a video like this, two guys talking, like with no one watching almost, and just he go on a jihad against us.
He would make us famous.
Fuck yeah, alright, thanks Kanye, come on you asshole.
Like,
I'll fight you, I don't care if you kick my ass.
I'm not afraid of Kanye West.
I'm not either, but he's also physically more powerful than me probably.
The gayfish.
Because you know that I'm
it depends on what element you're in. If you're in the water with a gayfish, you're going to get fucked by a gayfish. But on land,
that's the most terrifying thing I think
on,
I've ever heard.
On land, a gayfish has no power. Meet a giant fish. Fuck his brains out.
Oh god. And with that, I think we're done for today.
Yeah, I think we are done.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, if anyone's watching, thank you so much.
And always remember, fuck it. We'll do it live.
Fuck it. We'll do a gayfish.
Have a good night.
Later.